I was dying, or so I thought. I couldn't count how many nights had passed. I had to rise and go to Alexandria. I had to get across the sea. But this meant moving, turning over in the earth, giving in to the thirst. I wouldn't give in. The thirst came, the thirst went. It was the rack and the fire, and my brain thirsted as my heart thirsted. And my heart grew bigger and louder, and still I wouldn't give in. Maybe mortals above could hear my heart. I saw them now and then. Spurts of flame against the darkness, heard their voices babble a foreign tongue. But more often I saw only the darkness, heard only the darkness. I was finally just the thirst, lying in the earth with red sleep and red dreams, and the slow knowledge that I was now too weak to push up through the soft sandy clods, too weak conceivably to turn the wheel again. That's right. I couldn't rise if I wanted to. I couldn't move at all. I breathed. I went on. But not the way that mortals breathe. My heart sounded in my ears. Yet I didn't die. I just wasted. Like those tortured beings in the walls under Les Innocents, deserted metaphors of the misery that is everywhere unseen, unrecorded, unacknowledged, unused. My hands were claws and my flesh was shrunk to the bones. And my eyes bulged from the sockets. Interesting that we can go on like this forever. That even when we don't drink, don't surrender to the luscious and fatal pleasure, we go on. Interesting, that is, if each beat of the heart wasn't such agony. And if I could stop thinking, Nicolas de l'Enfant is gone. My brothers are gone. Pale taste of wine, sound of applause. But don't you think it's good what we do when we are there, that we make people happy? Good? What are you talking about, good? That it's good, that it does some good, that there is good in it. Dear God, even if there is no meaning in this world, surely there can still be goodness. It's good to eat, to drink, to laugh, to be together. Laughter, that insane music, that din, that dissonance, that never-ending shrill articulation of the meaninglessness. Am I awake? Am I asleep? I am sure of one thing, I am a monster, and because I lie in torment in the earth, certain human beings move on through the narrow path of life, unmolested. Gabrielle may be in the jungles of Africa now. Some time or other mortals came into the burnt-out house above, thieves hiding, too much babble a foreign tongue, but all I had to do was sink deeper inside myself, withdraw even from the cool sand around me, not to hear them. Am I really trapped? Stink of blood above? Maybe they are the last hope, these two camping in the neglected garden. That the blood will draw me upwards, that it will make me turn over and stretch out these hideous, they must be claws. I will frighten them to death before I even drink. Shameful. I was always such a beautiful little devil, as the expression goes, not now. Now and then it seems Nicky and I are engaged in our best conversations. I am beyond all pain and sin, he says to me. But do you feel anything, I ask? Is that what it means to be free of this, that you no longer feel, not misery, not thirst, not ecstasy? It is interesting to me in these moments that our concept of heaven is one of ecstasy, the joys of heaven, that our concept of hell is pain, the fires of hell. So we don't think it very good not to feel anything, do we? Can you give it up, Lestat? Or isn't it true that you'd rather fight the thirst with this hellish torment than die and feel nothing? At least you have the desire for blood, hot and delicious and filling every particle of you. Blood. How long are these mortals going to be here, above in my ruined garden? 1 night? 2 nights? I left the violin in the house where I lived. I have to get it. Give it to some young mortal musician, someone who will... Blessed silence. Except for the playing of the violin and Nicky's white fingers stabbing at the strings, and the bow streaking in the light and the faces of the immortal marionettes, half entranced, half amused. 100 years ago, the people of Paris would have got him. He wouldn't have had to bum himself. Got me too, maybe. But I doubt it. No, there never would have been any witch's place for me. He lives on in my mind now. Pious mortal phrase. And what kind of life is that? I don't like living here myself. What does it mean to live on in the mind of another? Nothing, I think. You aren't really there, are you? Cats in the garden. Stink of cat blood, thank you. But I would rather suffer, rather dry up like a husk with teeth.